And here is another book that I will read today. I liked this book. It's called Did I Ever Tell You How Lucky You Are? And by Dr. Seuss. Read by me, Clay B. Hammock. And being the Christmas season, sometimes people start feeling depressed, and we should really be thankful that things could be worse. And the Bible says to give thanks. And, well, that's what Thanksgiving is about. Saying grace, giving thanks, being thankful for your meals, and being thankful for what you have. And that's what this book is about. It's about how lucky you are. And I wish this could get my face, but, well, I'm trying a different camera angle, and there's always a bad side to it. So anyway, here it is. Did I ever tell you how lucky you are? You're lucky that you're not some of these people that I'm about to tell you. You are lucky that you're not. So here we go. If you're feeling depressed for the Christmas season, then listen to this story and see how fortunate you are. Here we go. Did I ever tell you how lucky you are? By Dr. Seuss. A Seussical. Dr. Seuss. I found this book at the library. I looked over several Dr. Seuss books, and this was the only one I liked from their selection. This is a blank page. And this is a drawing of a sad person. Very sad.
Did I ever tell you how lucky you are?
Said the little bird from Bamamazoo.
He wanted to tell you how lucky you are.
And it looks like Dr. Seuss wanted to really introduce this book quite a bit. Here it is again. Did I ever tell you how lucky you are? By Dr. Seuss again. And Random House. Now what he's saying, I don't know. This is a little buzzamabee. Or thingamadob. Or thingamadee. He said this book, with love, is for Phyllis the Jackson. And I don't know who Phyllis the Jackson is, but I'm sure that Dr. Seuss did. So this begins our story. I like this artwork. It's simple and it looked more 3D to me, and I like 3D. The way he drew it, it looked 3D. So I just hope this shows up on the camera. When I was quite young and quite small for my size, I met an old man in the desert of Dries, and he sang me a song I will never forget. At least, well, I haven't forgotten yet. He sat in a terrible prickly place. He sang with a sunny, sweet smile on his face. When you think things are bad, when you feel sour and blue, when you start to get mad, you should do what I do. Just tell yourself, ducky, you're really quite lucky. Some people are much more, oh ever much more, Oh, muchly, much, much more unlucky than you. Well, gee, Mr. Wise Man, I never thought it that way. Be glad you don't work in the Bungle Bum Bridge that they're building across Boober Bay at Bum Ridge. It's a troublesome world. All the people who are in it are troubled with troubles almost every minute. You ought to be thankful, a whole heaping lot, for the places and people. You're lucky you're not. Just suppose, for example, you lived at Gazette and got caught in that traffic on Zate Highway 8. And I tell you, there was many an argument in that time. When you get stuck in that traffic, you don't have any peace on your mind. I'll give you a pop with my fist, and that'll hurt. Yes, sir, it will hurt. So get out of my way before I give you a pop. I'm not getting out of your way. I'm going to stay, even if it takes all day. I'm going to stay. Watermelons, 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 while you wait. Get one while you can, before they're all ate. Watermelons, watermelons. What's that? What's that you say? What's that you say? You're first, and that's that. If you don't stop this talk, I'll hit you with my whack-a-matat, and I'll give you a very big whack with my whack-a-matat. So what do you think of that? I think I'm glad that I am not in traffic on Zate Highway 8. Or suppose, just for instance, you lived in Gazare, with your bathroom is up here. That's right. Rather, I say your bedroom is up here. I got it all mixed up. Your bedroom is all here, but your bathroom is way over there. That means when you gotta go to potty, and you gotta go to potty real bad, and you're just about to go in your pants, and it's making you kind of mad, well, you gotta leave your bedroom, and you gotta go through that door, down the stairs, and across the way, and up a little bit more, or should I say down a little bit more, and then you gotta go up all those steps, and you gotta go wee bad, until you go all the way up to your bathroom. And hopefully you'll get there in time. So you better be glad you're not in Gazare, because you know what happens over there. Just suppose you a poor Herbie Hart who has taken his thrumdibulator apart. He never will get it together, I'm sure. He never will know if the kick or the core fits in the scrux or the snux or the snore. Yes, Ducky, you're lucky you're not Herbie Hart, who has taken his thrumdibulator apart. Oh dear, where does this go? I don't know. Kitty, can you tell me, where does this go? I have taken my thrumdibulator apart, and I can't get it back together. As bad as taking the TV apart.
Think they work too hard? Think of poor Ollie Sard. He has to mow grass in his uncle's backyard. And it's quick-growing grass, and it grows and he mows. The faster he mows, the faster it grows. And all that his stingy old uncle will pay for his shoving that mower around in that hay is the pivilous pay of 2 dukelers a day. And Ollie can't live on such pivilous pay. And here he is.
Oh, poor Ollie Sard. He's got quite a big yard.
And since he has such privileged pay, he has to paint flagpoles on Sundays and grooves. How lucky you are. You don't live in his shoes. And poor Mr. Biz, every morning at 6, poor Mr. Biz has his borfin to fix. It doesn't seem fair. It just doesn't seem right. But his poor borfin seems to go slump every night. It slumps in a heap, sadly needing repair. Biz figures it's due to the local night air. It takes them all day to unslump it, and then the night air comes back and it slumps once again. So don't you feel blue. Don't get down in the dumps. You're lucky you don't have a borfin that always slumps.
Oh, poor Mr. Biz. Poor Mr. Biz. His slump got slumped.
Yes, Sonny, you just don't know how lucky you are. And while we are at it, consider the schlots. The good old schlots. The crumple-horned, web-footed, green-bearded schlots, whose tail is entangled with unsolvable knots. If he isn't muchly more worse off than you, I'll eat my umbrella. Yes, that's just what I will do. I will eat my umbrella. And you're lucky indeed you don't ride on a camel. To ride on a camel, you sit on a whammel. A whammel, you know, is sort of a saddle held on by a button that's known as a faddle. And boy, if your old warm old faddle gets loose, I'm telling you, Ducky, you're gone like a goose. So you better be glad. Oh, Ducky, you better be glad that you are lucky, more lucky than these. So let me tell you about another one, if you please. Not to mention, my friend, poor Mr. Potter. All day long, he's a tea-crosser, and he's an eye-dotter. And that's all he does on that paper all day. He's write I's and T's, and he just writes right away. He has to cross those T's, and he has to dot those I's. In an I and a T factory out in Van Nuys. Oh, the jobs people have to do. Out west near Hotch Hotch, there's a Hotch Hotcher bee watcher. His job is to watch, is to keep both eyes on the lazy town bee. A bee that is watched will work harder, you see. Well, he watched and he watched. Yes, sirree, he's watching that bee, or is he? Not very good at it. Well, he watched and he watched, but in spite of his watch, that bee didn't work any harder. Not much. So then somebody said, our poor bee-watching man just isn't bee-watching as hard as he can. He ought to be watched by another Hotch Hotcher. The thing that we need is a bee-watcher. Well, what do you think happened? What do you think happened? The bee-watcher watched the bee-watcher. He didn't watch well, So another hotch watcher had to come in as a watcher. And today, all the hotchers who live in Hotch are watching on watching watch. Watching the watcher who's watching that bee. You're not a hotch watcher. You're lucky, you see. Oh, as you see. Look at all them hotchers watching the watchers and the watching hotching and the hotching and the hotch watcher watching and the watcher and watching and hotching and hotching and watching and watching and hotching and hotching. Woo! Watching that bee. Watching the bee. You ought to be glad, can't you see? And dear lucky ducky, and how fortunate you're not Professor DeBreeze, who has spent the past 32 years, if you please, trying to teach Irish ducks how to read Jeevanese. Poor old Professor DeBreeze, trying to teach them how to teach, or rather how to read Jeevanese. And think of the poor puffin' pooglehorn players who have to parade down the pooglehorn stairs every morning to wake up the Prince of Pooboken. It's awful how often their poogles get broken. And just suppose you a poor Harry Hoddo. Try as he will, he can't make any shadow. He thinks that perhaps something's wrong with his gears. And I think that, by golly, I guess there probably is. Hoo 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 hum 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 hoo 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 hum 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 hoo 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 hum 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 hoo 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 hum hum hum. And the brothers Bazoo, the poor brothers Bazoo, suppose your hair grew like theirs happened to do. You think you're unlucky? I'm telling you, ducky, some people are muchly, oh, ever so muchly more unlucky than you, my dear ducky. Oh, look at these people. Look at these brothers Bazoo. They've got entirely too much hair. Too much hair. And that's true. Yes, dear ducky, suppose that you lived in that forest in France, where the average young person just hasn't a chance to escape from the perilous pant-eating plants. But your pants are safe. You're a fortunate guy, and you ought to be shouting, "How lucky am I! Yay! They didn't get my pants." But they sure got his pants. They sure did. Yes, sir. Can you see that? They sure got his pants. Those pant-eating plants. And speaking of plans, you should be greatly gladish you're not Farmer Falkenberg's 17th radish. Oh boy. The Farmer Falkenberg. He sure does grow a lot of radishes. And right now he's taking a nap in his hammock. And the cow's sleeping too. Oh yes, and you're so lucky you're not Gucky Gown, who lives by himself 90 miles out of town in the ruins of Runk. Runk is rather run down. Yes, I say, it's rather run down. And I think this is rather run down. Let's see if I can run it down. Oh. Okay. Now look at old Runky. Look at that rundown town. You better be glad that you don't live 90 miles out of town. And there he is, laying in a mud puddle. Yes, sirree. And you're so lucky you're not left. You're not a left sock, left behind by mistake in the caverns of Croc. And somewhere in the caverns of Croc, there is a left sock. A left sock right here in the caverns of Croc. Thank goodness. Thank goodness for all the things you are not. Thank goodness you're not something someone forgot and left all alone in some punkerish place like a rusty tin coat hanger hanging in space. There it is, the rusty coat hanger hanging in space. That's why I say, ducky, don't grumble, don't stool. Some critters are much, oh, ever so much, so much more unlucky than you. So be glad who you are, and be thankful by far that you could be in a lot worser place. So you are lucky, ducky, and be glad who you are. And this ends Dr. Seuss. And did I ever tell you how lucky you are? Did I ever tell you how lucky you are? Did I ever tell you how lucky you are, ducky? Ducky, you are quite lucky. Yes, indeed you are. That you're none of these people in this book by far. But you're one of a kind. And you're doing quite great. Because you're none of these people in this book. And that is great. And this ends Did I Ever Tell You How Lucky You Are? By Dr. Seuss. And I got to go to the bathroom, and I'm glad that I don't have to go all those stairs to get to the bathroom like in the book. I sure am glad that I'm not that guy in the book. His bedroom was over here, and his bathroom was over there, and by George, I wonder if he made it. I wonder if he made it in time. Before something happened, like the lamp fell down. So this ends Dr. Seuss, and I hope it came out